Magandang araw pong muli. Gusto ko magsimula sa diskusyon ng Filipino Values and Ethics sa isang ah, quotation from Virgilio Enriquez, isang kilalang ama ng psikolohiyang Pilipino. Kilala po siya as Doc E. Tawag sa kanya ng mga estudyante niya, Doc E. At nasabi niya sa isang article, sabi niya, madaling maging tao, mahirap magpakatao. Pero pinakamahirap, makipagkapwa-tao. As I teach Filipino philosophy at napupunta minsan sa usapin tungkol sa psikolohiyang Pilipino, ang challenge ko muna sa mga estudyante ko ay, sige nga, pakitranslate nga itong statement na to. Madaling maging tao, mahirap magpakatao, pero pinakamahirap makipagkapwa-tao. Yung dalawang sentences na nauna, madaling i-translate eh. Madaling maging tao, it's easy to be human. Mahirap magpakatao, it's hard to be humane. Pero pinakamahirap makipagkapwa-tao. Pag translate nila sa English, pinipigilan ko sila. Teka lang, one word, compounded yan, makipagkapwa-tao, kailangan natin ng one word translation. Kasi in the study of culture, pag ang isang salita po ay, pag meron pong salita, we think about it as part of our culture, pag isang salita na siya. Ibig sabihin itong pakikipagkapwa-tao, it's only considered as one concept, and it tells much about the culture. Kumbaga, dito sa ating kultura, since we are very much family-oriented, halimbawa, sa English, pag tawagin natin ang isang in-law, laging parents-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law. Pero tayo, sa ating kultura, may isa na tayo ng salita. Meron tinatawag tayong manugang, may tinatawag tayong biyanan. Isang salita lang, hipag, bayaw. Kasi parte yun ng kultura natin eh. Parte yun ng pagiging family-oriented natin bilang mga Pilipino. Kaya dito po sa isang artikulo ni Doc E on the search for a core concept, may konteksto po ito na kung saan after niya dumating dito sa Pilipinas, may ongoing core values na para bang yun yung imposed sa mga Pilipino na kung tutuusin naman ay pag-aaral ng mga tagalabas. Halimbawa po si Robert Fox. Ito po mga core concepts na to ay nagmula sa mga seminal articles mismo nitong mga taong ito, ng mga anthropologists ito. Si Robert Fox, sinasabi niya na ang core value ng mga Pilipino ay hiya. Natural sa isang Pilipino ang pagiging mahiyain. Kaya it's something na talagang yung tipo na hindi natin basta-basta i-despise o tatanggihan yung pagiging mahiyain. Eh, Pilipino yan eh. Kumbaga, kasama dyan yung pagiging mahiyain. Parang ganun. Then, si Charles Scout naman argued for actually hindi hiya ang core value ng mga Pilipino. Utang na loob. Magaling tumanaw ng utang na loob ang mga Pilipino. Then, si Jaime Bulatao, I'm honestly not sure kung ano nga ba talaga nauna kasi parehas ito 1964, yung kay Franklin at saka kay Father Bu. Si Jaime Bulatao ay kilalang Father Bu ng mga estudyante niya. At obviously, hindi ko po ito malalaman kung anong naula dahil hindi pa ako pinapanak nito. Alayo pa. Alayo sa edad ko. So, Father Bu defended na hiya ang core value ng mga Pilipino. And actually, it's conjuncted with honor. Kumbaga, you inhibit self-imposition kasi nga, meron kang iniingatan din. So, in conjunction with honor, yung konsepto ng hiya ni Father Bu, at sinasabi niyang ito yung core value. In fact, gusto ko yung gusto ko yung analogy ni Father Bu na yung halimbawa ang itlog, boiled egg, retained yung individuality ng itlog. Pero pag ginawa mong scrambled yung itlog together with other eggs, ni-scramble mo siya. Kumbaga, yung itlog na yun loses oneself. Kumbaga, nahalo na siya sa lahat eh. Pero yung fried egg, yun yung masasabi na, okay, retained mo pa rin yung individuality mo through the egg yolk, pero sumasama ka sa kabuuan dahil dun sa egg white. So, ganun yung konsepto ng hiya natin. We still try to maintain our individuality with our honor, pero medyo we still lose ourselves doon sa analogy na yun sa egg white. Tapos, I assume na ito yung mas later kasi kitang-kita rin doon sa article ni Doc E na ang pinaka ina-address niya ay yung core value ng pakikisama. Later on, I'll go to that. Pero si Frank Lynch, he argued in his article na pakikisama ang pinaka-core value ng mga Pilipino. Magaling makisama ang bawat Pinoy. Until yun nga, 1978, namamayagpag itong mga core values nito, ano nga ba talaga, hiya, utang na loob, pakikisama, lalo ng pakikisama. Now, dun po sa article ni Enriquez on the search for a core concept, sila ni Carmen Santiago came up with 2 categories. At hango yung mga levels na to dun sa na-develop na nila na 8 levels of social interaction. Pero itong mga levels na to na nakasama dito at ang pinakabasehan nila actually ay yung food relationship sa Bulacan. Yun yung pinaka naging research nila. They realized na merong kategorya itong levels na to. Yung pakikitungo, pakikibagay, pakikisama. It's a social interaction with an outsider. Kaya ka nakikitungo, kaya ka nakikibagay, kaya ka nakikisama. Kasi ibang tao yan. Pero, dun sa it's beyond 5 eh. Kasi kagaya po nung, ito po kasi ay derived from the originally 8 levels, social interaction. Na hindi na napasama po dito yung pakikisalamuha, pakikilahok, at pakikisangkot. Kasi nga, ang pinaka naging basehan nila dito sa pag-aaral na to ay yung food interactions ng Southern Tagalog. Kaya, they came up with 2 categories. Ibang tao, ibig sabihin outsider, at saka hindi ibang tao, one of us. And then, ang pinaka naging argumento ni Doc E ay merong yumayakap dito sa 2 kategoryang to. At sabi niya, it is only the concept of kapwa which embraces both categories of outsider, ibang tao, and one of us, hindi ibang tao. Kaya, naging core concept po. They championed it, lalo po yung mga proponents ng SP, ng Psikolohiyang Pilipino. They championed kapwa to be the core concept. Pero, ang nakakapagtaka po dito, kahit ngayon, in the Filipino vernacular language, it seems that common people still attribute it to themselves. Yung mga konsepto ng hiya, utang na loob, pakikisama, bahala na, with its negative implications actually. Kumbaga, imbis na pinanindigan that our core concept is kapwa, the self in the other, mas pinangahawakan pa rin itong core value ito na yun nga, ang mga Pilipino, mahiyain. Again, with all these negative implications, for example, sa hiya, a Filipino would not initiate because nahihiya siya eh. So he wants to save his face. O yung negative implication, halimbawa man, ng utang na loob. In rough translation, it's debt of gratitude. A Filipino has utang na loob regardless of the moral consequences. Tapos yung pakikisama, halimbawa po, or in rough translation, yielding to the influential or majority. Ang negative implication nito, ang isang Pilipino sometimes disregards morality due to pakikisama. Kailangan niyo makisama eh. O kaya naman, yung bahala na sa value, or in rough translation, come what may. A Filipino easily resorts to resignation and fatalism. At sasabihin niya, bahala na nga. So, interestingly, even though Doc E and the Esprit proponents championed kapwa to be the core concept in the 1970s and 80s, ito pa rin, in Filipino vernacular language, ito pa rin yung ina-attribute ng mga Pilipino sa kanila, sa mga sarili nila. So, I think this needs to be revisited. And there's this young philosopher, dati siyang nandito sa UP Diliman. He wrote a dissertation in Leuven. Nag-aral siya sa Leuven. Tapos, he synthesized the so-called two pillars. Para sa kanya, these are the two pillars. Yun ang kapwa muna ni Doc E. Tapos yung loob na masasabi natin very fertile in the Filipino language. Kusang loob, utang na loob. Marami. Kumbaga, it germinates a lot of concepts, yung loob. And he considers this the two pillars. Pero nakikita rin niya na itong loob na to at kapwa na to, in English, oo, kaya mo siyang i-translate, but in context, it's understood differently. For example, in English, ang loob ay inside, such as inside the house or a jar, physically. Pero in context, it's actually the will of the person, including its strengths, goodness, indebtedness, attachments, and so on. Iba eh. Hindi lang siya basta hindi outside. It's actually the will of the person. In fact, for Jeremiah Reyes, he came up with his own translation of this eh. At sinasabi niya, this is actually the relational will of the Filipinos. Relational will. Not just the will, pero relational will. Kasi nga, he's now doing it in synthesis with kapwa. Ngayon, yung kapwa para sa kanya, in English, it's translated as others or other persons. Pero, kagaya lang din po na napaliwanag natin kanina, it embraces both categories of ibang tao at hindi ibang tao. And so, it encompasses all other persons. That includes the self. Or the self in the other. Sabi ni Catherine Negia, student po ni Doc E. The shared self. In fact, si Jeremiah Reyes came up with his own translation, together with the person. Although honestly, I have reservations kasi parang vague yung term na yun, together with the person. You translate kapwa as together with the person. Medyo vague. Para sa akin, kapwa is enmeshed humanity. Yun nga, embraces the categories of both ibang tao at hindi ibang tao. So, Jeremiah Reyes needs to be appreciated for this synthesis of loob and kapwa. Now, this synthesis actually allows us to reconsider itong mga surface values na to. Para kay Doc E, itong hiya, utang na loob, pakikisama, bahala na, ay simply surface values eh. Hindi siya core value. Kasi para sa kanya, ang core value ay kapwa. Pero, in the synthesis of loob and kapwa na ginawa ni Jeremiah Reyes, we can now see hiya as a quality of one's loob that makes him control or sacrifice an individual desire for the sake of the kapwa's welfare. So, medyo nahihiya ka, you have reservations na ikaw lang ang makinabang. Kasi nga, you consider the kapwa. Nasa loob mo rin siya. On the value of utang na loob, it could then be understood as a depth of goodwill. Yes. So, depth of kagandahang loob towards the kapwa. Pero, may isa ring sinulat, I think it's Lagmay who wrote this. Ibang-iba yung pagkakasabi ng utang na loob na depth of goodwill o depth kagandahang loob, depth of kagandahang loob. Dun sa time na halimbawa may Yolanda o may mga biktima ng trahedya. Tapos sumigaw sila, utang na loob, tulungan nyo kami. Now, yung utang na loob, tulungan nyo kaming yun, it just cannot be translated as depth of goodwill eh. Lalo na depth of gratitude, hindi. Wala namang utang na loob yung mga taong yun eh, para tulungan sila. Pero sumisigaw sila, utang na loob, tulungan nyo kami. So, I would say that it is really more understood as debt to humanity with the consideration of this loob and kapwa. Now, yung pakikisama naman as a surface value, it is more than just yielding to the majority or the influential. This value is actually reconceptualized as being considerate of kapwa's loob that goes further to pakikiisa. In fact, yun yung pinakamataas sa 8 levels of social interaction ni Doc E. Then yung bahala na. It shows resiliency of the loob. Again, it's Alfredo Lagmay who conducted a research about this bahala na, and he realized that we have 2 orders of saying bahala na. The first order is actually future-oriented. May mangyayari in the future or in the near future, distant or near. Basta may mangyari in the future. And the Filipino would say, bahala na, tingnan na lang natin pag nandun na. Pero, sa resulta ng research ni Dr. Lagmay, itong second order na to is actually present-oriented. Ibig sabihin, the Filipino is currently at a situation. And he says, bahala na, tingnan natin. Bahala na, I have this responsibility. So, it shows the resiliency of the loob. And at the same time, probably in this confection of bahala na, it has the assumption that we also have this kapwa to help us as community-oriented people. Now, these surface values need to be understood in this integration of loob and kapwa. And again, I attribute this critical insight to a colleague dito sa Diliman na yun nga, it's an integration. Hiya is an integration of loob and kapwa. Pakikisama could be seen as an integration of loob and kapwa. Bahala na could be seen as an integration of loob and kapwa. And even pakikisama as an integration of loob and kapwa. Kaya babalik po tayo. Madaling maging tao, mahirap magpakatao, pero pinakamahirap makipagkapwa-tao. At sakop po niyan yung loob natin. Marami pong salamat.